Guys, welcome back to our channel Get Placed Soon. In this video, we're going to see how to find the smallest element, second smallest element, largest element and second largest element. Now, in the given array 10, 5, 20, 8, 25, the smallest element is 5. The second smallest element is 8, largest element is 25 and second largest element is 20. You know by looking at this array what is small, what is big, right? But how to find the same in programming? Let us see. First, before anything else, let's find out the smallest element. But before that, make sure to like this video, share this video and subscribe to our channel Get Placed Soon. So finding the minimum element. So to find the minimum element while writing the code, first declare a minimum variable and assign some value to this variable. When you assign to some value to this variable, now start iterating the array, start going and checking each and every element in the array and update the minimum value. Now, while initializing this minimum value, what value should be given to this minimum? We ensure that any value in the array will be smaller than minimum, right? Any value in the array will be smaller than minimum when if we assign the maximum integer value to the minimum. And in Java, to declare the maximum integer value, we write integer dot max value in capitals. If you're coding in C++, write int underscore max. Now, coming back to the problem, so we declare a minimum variable with the maximum integer. And now we iterate through the array and we update the minimum value. Now getting started with the first element. The first element in the array is 10. Now the minimum contains the maximum value. So we update the minimum value to 10. In the second element in the array, it is 5. Now 5 is less than minimum value. So that we update the minimum value to 5. The third element in the array is 20, which is greater than 5, so we do not update minimum. The fourth element in the array is 8. Again, 8 is greater than 5, so minimum is 5 only, so we do not update minimum. The last element is 25. 25 is again greater than minimum, so we do not update minimum. After iterating throughout the array, the minimum stays 5. So the minimum of this array is 5. This is how we find the minimum value. Now let's see how to find the maximum value. Similarly, for finding maximum value, declare a maximum variable and give some value to it. Instead of giving anything else, we initialize integer.minimum value to the max variable. Now, we will go throughout the array one by one element and we will update our max value. Now, the first element in the array is 10. So, we update the maximum value to 10 because the maximum value contains the smallest minimum value of integers, right? We update the maximum value to the first element, that is 10. The second element of the array is 5. 5 is less than max, so we keep the max as 10 only. The third element is 20. Now 20 is greater than 10. 20 is greater than max, so that we update the max value. The fourth element is 8. 8 is less than 20, so we do not update. The fifth element is 25. Now 25 is greater than 20, so that we update max to 25. Now the maximum value throughout this array is 25. This is how we find minimum value and maximum value. Now let's see how to write the same in the code. In the main function, we declare the same array 10, 5, 20, 8, 25 and we declare the min value to integer dot max value as discussed, and again max to minimum value integer dot min value. Note that if you are writing in C++, it is int underscore min in capitals, int underscore max in capitals. Okay. After declaring minimum and maximum values, we run the for loop and we check and update the values of minimum and maximum by iterating through each and every value in the array. After that, we print it. So in this code, after running, we get the smallest element as 5 and largest element as 25. Now discussing the time and space complexity of this problem. The time complexity of the program is O of n because it iterates over the array once, only once, to find minimum and maximum in only one for loop. So O of n. And the space complexity of this program is O of 1 because it uses only a fixed amount of space. Now they gave us an array and we are declaring some variables and we are not creating any extra space. We're not creating any extra arrays, right? So this is a constant space, O of 1. That's it. Now moving ahead and finding the second minimum and second maximum. Let's see how to do that. We already know how to find the minimum, right? So declaring an integer, assigning some maximum value to it, iterating through each and every element in the array and updating the minimum value. This is how we find minimum. Now finding the second minimum. This can be a little confusing, but It is very simple if you understand. So we want two minimums here. One is minimum and the other is second minimum. So the approach is assign minimum to the first element of the array, as anyway we are going to update it. So assign second minimum, that is min 2, to the maximum. Okay, now in the for loop, inside the for loop, we first check if the current element is less than minimum. If it is, we update minimum 2 to the current value of min. So we are exchanging minimum 2 and minimum, and then update minimum to the current element. So updating minimum to the I, that is current element. So this ensures that min2 always holds the second smallest element. I hope you understand the if part in the for loop. Now going to the else if part in this for loop. If the current element is not less than minimum, we check if it is less than minimum 2. If it is, we update minimum 2 to the current element. So this again ensures that minimum 2 always holds the second smallest element. Even if the smallest element appears more than once in the array, it will update. Because it's a loop, it keep on updating. So this is how we find minimum and second minimum. If you do not understand, please rewind and listen to this again so that you will get clarity. Now finding the second maximum. You know how to find the maximum, right? We take a variable maximum and give least minimum integer, and then by iterating through each and every element in the array, we update the maximum value and return. This is finding maximum. This we already discussed in the before parts of the video. Now the second maximum. In the second maximum, we are supposed to find two things. One is maximum and the second maximum. So we will initialize first element of the array to maximum and initialize minimum value of integers to the second maximum. Max 1, max and max 2. Max and max 2. Now inside the for loop, we are checking if an element is larger than current maximum value. If it is larger than current maximum value, we update max 2 to the current maximum value, and then we update max to the new largest value. Did you get my point? We update max 2 to max, and we update max to the ith value. I hope you understood the if statement. Now we are going to the else if part. In the else if part, we are checking if an element is larger than max 2 and not equal to max. In this case, we will update max 2 to the new second largest value. So in case if the largest value appears more than once, just because it's a loop, it will update accordingly. So this is how we find maximum and second maximum. This might be little tricky, so if you have any doubt, feel free to comment below. Merging every single thing we learned, smallest element, second smallest, largest, second largest element in one code. Starting in the main function, we declared an array and initializing minimum to maximum value and min2 also to maximum value. Again for maximum. Till now we have learned everything in bits, right? In parts. Now we are merging everything and we are writing a code to print smallest, largest, second largest in one code. Let's see how to do that. In the main function, we are declaring an array with the same values 10, 5, 20, 8, 25. Now we are declaring four variables: min, minimum 2, max, maximum 2. The min and minimum 2 consists of maximum integer values, that is integer dot max value, and max and max 2 consists of integer dot min value. So we initialize these values. Now comes the for loop part. In the for loop, we are iterating through each and every part of the array, each and every element of the array. Right. Now the first if else statements in the for loop gives the minimum and the second minimum, and the logic is explained in the previous slides. And the second if else statement prints the largest and the second largest element. After that we wrote print statements, and this is how we solve this problem. Now let's check time complexity and space complexity of this program. The time complexity of this program is O of n, where n is the number of elements in the array. So we are using only one for loop, and that for loop is iterating throughout the array only once. So O of n, where n is the size of the array. Now speaking about the space complexity, we are creating minimum, minimum 2, max, maximum 2, all these variables. So we are using fixed amount of additional space, and we are not creating any extra space, like we are not creating any extra arrays, right? So the space complexity of this program is constant. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Get blessed soon. Thank you so much.